I'm a fan of Studio Ghibli's, and I've done the English language. I've directed the English language version of several of their movies, but never a movie directed by Hayao Miyazaki. And so this film came up, so I had to do it. Then when I hope it's not true, but they say it might be his last movie, so then I really had to do it. So both and the subject of the film, I'm married to an engineer in the movie, and at one level is a movie that celebrates engineers, design and imagination and creating. So, but from a point of view of an engineer. So since I married an engineer, I'm a big Miyazaki fan. I had no choice but to do this movie. Miyazaki's movies are unique, and there's something that his approach to storytelling is his own. And the only way I could always think of it is it's like watching someone else's dream. So sometimes movies are like having your own dream, but his movies are like watching someone else's dream. So they're weird and they're wonderful and they're incredibly well observed. From an animation standpoint, because I love animation, the observation of how people move, how they interact, how the world works, how everything from making a cup of tea to the way water flows, it's all so beautifully observed. Wind Rises is a story of Jiro Horikoshi, who's dreamed of flight and planes, but as a boy realizes he can't be a pilot, so he makes his dream to design airplanes. And the time that he's born in, the opportunity to design airplanes is because of what becomes the war, becomes World War II. And he's based in part on an actual engineer who designed the Zero fighters for Japan. So that story is blended with he falls in love with a girl that really makes a lasting impression on him early in the story, and then eventually he sees her again and falls in love. And she has tuberculosis, so it's falling in love with someone who might not be around much longer. At the same time, it's a story of building planes that also might not be around much longer. So it's a story of, is it important to be passionate about something that will end badly? Being a Miyazaki film, there are these dream sequences, very real movie, real storytelling. But inside Jiro's brain, in these dreams he has, he sees the character of Caproni, who is based on a real Italian aircraft designer, who this character is someone he looks up to. It's a hero to him. He was a real person as well, an early revolutionary designer of airplanes from Italy. So Jiro imagines Caproni. His version of Caproni is this dramatic, over-the-top, all about the beauty of flight and the beauty of airplanes for the purity of the beauty of airplanes. And in his mind, Caproni struggles with what Jiro struggles with, which is he's making planes for war. And he and Caproni, both in his brain and his mind, wish they could build planes for people and for the sheer designed beauty of flight. So Caproni is Jiro's imagination of what he wants to become, which is this free aeronautical engineer. I mean, he's implanted with this dream of what to become. It's an aeronautical engineer. How specific is that? And Caproni is his dream of what the perfect aeronautical engineer would be. Jiro has played, the voice for us is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And the character had to be smart and sincere and in love. So, and it's an engineer in love story. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a very intelligent actor, can play very intelligent characters, but he's a leading man. He's someone you want to see fall in love. So I think he brings the romance and the intellect to the part. The actors on these kind of projects have a really tough job. We try to make it easy for them, but they have to sync and act. And it's and it's really hard. And they're all coming in individually to make it even harder. They're not reacting to each other because they come in at different times. And we're trying, part of our eyes are focused on synchronizing the line to the original Japanese, and the other part of us is thinking of how's the performance. So it's a balance between we want the best performance we can have in sync to the original Japanese. The film, to me, is about how important it is to be passionate about something and about living inside your imagination when it comes to creating. That the creation comes from imagination from inside our minds, and how important that is, that sense of seeing something that doesn't exist in order to create something that does, whether it's a plane or a movie. I mean, I think that Hayao Miyazaki is making a movie at some level about what it's like to make movies. But more fundamentally, the story is about how that passion is key to living every day as its own day, and living in the moment, and appreciating what there is, and live life to the fullest each day as it goes.